Got my eyes straight ahead, got my head in the game. With the red light on, I'm just waiting for the change. Keep my head down low. So sometimes I feel like the Queensland Police Service, who I used to work for, sometimes I think like they're doing these things on purpose. They're just trying to write a bit of a comedy show, just see how many mistakes they can make. What, are people actually going to notice these mistakes? I would love to know if anyone actually gets held accountable for absolutely anything. You go and put out the wrong data, which seriously, there's someone there. That's your specific job, collating data, putting all the stats together, getting everything ready specifically for the government, whichever government that is at the time, specifically for that government so they can stand up and make announcements and, stand on some kind of platform, grandeur surrounding them. Look at what we've done, how wonderful we are, or it's bad stats, but hey, we're still working on it. Whatever. Your one job is to get these stats right. And then I feel like there must be someone within QPS who's just doing things on purpose. Let's just screw this up and see what becomes of it. See whether anyone calls us out. See whether anyone's sitting there laughing. Look at how ridiculous we can make the government look. So this story came out just the other day, thanks to man. Who was it? The Simple Man. Thanks for the Simple Man. Queensland government apologises for releasing victims of crime data which overstated drop in numbers. Queensland Police Minister has apologised for the release of bungled data that overstated a reduction in the number of victims of crime in the state. The Queensland Police Service, QPS, said human error was to blame for the incorrect figures, which was announced by Premier David Crisafulli. Oh, they made a fool of Crisafulli. At a press conference last week, the data indicated that between January and September this year, the number of victims of crime in Queensland had fallen 10.8% on a per capita basis when compared to the same time last year. If you don't know him, this is a picture of our Premier right here, David Crisafulli. But Police Minister Diane Purdy admitted in State Parliament on Wednesday the figures were wrong and the actual reduction was 6.5%. That's a little bit of a difference, buddy. He said his office had raised concerns with the verification of data before last week's press conference. Purdy said it had been reassured by police on multiple occasions. Multiple occasions. So they've gone in, they've put all this data together, checked it all out. You would have had numerous people supposedly checking it. This is just an assumption I'm making. Surely in a the Queensland Police Service, which has thousands of people working within there. You've got this area where they put together all this data. So surely there's more than one person putting this data together. So surely, I'm assuming, more than one person has checked it before it's gone to the Parliament, to government to read out. And then they've raised these concerns. Supposedly, this is what they're saying. They've raised these concerns multiple times, they say. And what? So QPS have checked it multiple times? Is that what they're saying? They've checked it and they still didn't pick up on it? So he said his office had raised concerns with the verification of data before the press conference. Purdy said it had been reassured by police multiple occasions. The figures were accurate. So there's got to be more than just one person that has screwed up, really screwed up. The methods and processes applied to the analysis of this data will be examined and improved ahead of next month's reporting, Purdy said. The 6.5% reduction is still showing we are moving in the right direction, but there is still much more work to be done. I've received a personal apology from the Commissioner of Police for the error, and I would like to add my own apologies to Queenslanders. Crisafulli made crime a central issue in his campaign to win government and has promised to resign if victim numbers do not fall by the end of his term. The data released was compiled by the QPS and is separate to the victims' numbers released each year by the Australian Bureau of Statistics. You know what I'd be doing, Crisafulli? I would be forgetting what QPS gives you and just rely on what the Australian Bureau of Statistics does. Because I'm not sure QPS has got your back, bruh. So, in a statement, Queensland Police Commissioner Steve Golszewski apologised for the error. So that's Golszewski there. He's apologised for the error. The QPS acknowledges this error and takes full responsibility for this issue. It occurred as a result of human error. There was an incorrect coding process applied to extract the data. We take our obligation to provide accurate and reliable information seriously, and any instant of inadvertent misinformation is unacceptable. If it's unacceptable, does that mean that someone's been stood down? Stood down with 2 weeks on pay and then stood down without pay, like what happened to me because I didn't have a jab, not to harp on or anything. But is that what you mean by unacceptable, or is it just unacceptable as in you get a little, wag the finger at you, oh, you're just very naughty? It's unacceptable, but keep going, keep doing your job where you get paid over 100 grand a year. Keep working. It's all good. Mistakes happen. Opposition leader Stephen Miles, however, criticised Crisafulli for the blunder. Queenslanders can never believe David Crisafulli again. Pot, meat, kettle. Miles. Miles. You can believe Miles. Yeah. Okay. Like I said, there's so many mistakes that happen within QPS. It just feels like it's a bit of a comedy show over there. Listen, can you just give me a heads up if you're going to do something like send out the wrong data or do something so that you make someone look foolish? Can you give me an email, give me a heads up so then I can get ready for the story beforehand? I'd really appreciate it because obviously there's someone over there who's you got to be doing this stuff on purpose. Surely, what is actually happening here? Golszewski, police commissioner, are you actually holding people accountable for completely screwing up, for supposedly getting asked whether this information is right multiple times, going through multiple checks, and yet still not picking up on it until after it's all been announced? Are you actually holding people accountable, or is it just shaking your finger at it? You were great holding people accountable when they didn't get the jab because you wanted to, because you were such a stickler for you got to get your freaking medicine, people. You can't decide what's right for your own body. You've got to do what I say. It was all good for you to enforce that. Are you actually doing anything? You're holding anyone accountable when it comes to actual mistakes that affect other people? Are you actually doing those things? I doubt it. I doubt it, Golszewski. I doubt it. Anyway, this is all my opinion. It's just my opinion, bruh. Calm down. I'm J Fallon. Thanks for listening.
They just fuel the desire that will take me higher. I'm on fire.